Welcome back to the Fulfilled Female Entrepreneur Podcast. It's your host, Cassandra Rosa. I'm a certified coach and healer, an intuitive business coach, and the mission behind all that I do is to help you to create a fulfilling life and business. In today's episode, I have Sarah Dickinson. She is a newsletter and email specialist, and she's going to be talking about building a community. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I'm excited to be here with Sarah today, and we're going to be talking about building a community using your newsletter. First and foremost, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Sarah.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we connected on Facebook. It's been a long time coming, but we're finally here in divine timing to record this episode, and I'm excited to introduce her. So Sarah Dickinson is a newsletter specialist with 3 passions of writing and storytelling and her kids. She spent over 10 years freelance writing in the digital marketing space while raising 2 neurospicy children. And when her most precious role as a mom was winding down, she found her business, The Nerdy Quill. Sarah now uses her passion for writing and knowledge of how to utilize words to build relationships. She works with women and queer business owners to help them share their stories and wisdom with their audience through their newsletters. Whether you choose to have it done for you or she teaches you how to do it all for yourself, Sarah's expertise will have your people, calling you family in no time. She actually has a free gift for you. It's a content planner and tracker. So we're going to leave a link to that in the show notes or this video, as well as connecting with her on Facebook to learn about all the ways that she can support you on your journey. I love that. I love how, you prioritize being a mom, and now that things have wound down, that you're taking this passion for writing and storytelling to help people build authentic relationships. I think there's so much power in the words that we use to help us build connection. So I love what you do. I think it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
So good. So do you want to talk a little bit about fulfillment and what that means to you? I love to ask every guest, and it's so interesting to hear how everyone's words are so different.
Well, I think fulfillment for me means joy. So doesn't it doesn't mean having everything in the world. It means having what brings you joy. And like I feel there are lots of things I want for sure, but I don't necessarily need them. I feel fulfilled every day I go to work because what I do is very fulfilling. I feel very fulfilled in my life because I have amazing kids and I have a wonderful partner and I have great sisters and friends. So I think fulfillment is feeling joy in your life.
I love it.
I think, yeah, feeling that love and joy with your life and looking at your life and feeling very joyful and satisfied with where you are.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I can tell from you, from reading your bio, and we just met as we're recording this episode, how important relationships are to you and how that's
Absolutely.
a piece of fulfillment. So I love that. And all that you do, helping people with the writing and storytelling and building the connections. Can you tell us a little bit more about what your role is and your mission is and what's the most fulfilling part of it?
Absolutely. So my mission is to help every women and queer business owner have a successful newsletter because we are so bombarded with buy and sales that we're just exhausted by all of that. And as humans, we are just a collection of stories. We are made up of stories and experiences. And I very much believe in relationship marketing. And because building relationships is the best way to sell your offer and sell your product. And your newsletters is the perfect way to build those relationships with your audience. Social media is a great way to sort of introduce yourself and to sort of start building that list. But it's really tough to build long lasting relationships. Google ads, you never really, you don't know who's out there, you don't know who's seeing them. But with your newsletter, your people are there for you. They've signed up, they're excited to hear from you, they want to hear from you. And then you deliver your value to them, you tell your stories to them, and they become part of your family. And that's how you connect with them and you build those relationships. And that's, bottom line, that's how you make sales with them, is because they become your friends and they
Yeah.
become your family.
No, I love that. I think that that's a beautiful approach to take to newsletter writing, because I remember being in the industry 5 years ago. There was a lot of focus on free gifts, get people on your email list and your newsletter. And then now things have shifted to like the short form content and the video. So I really love how you are putting a unique perspective about it of, hey, this is how you make people your family. So
Mhm.
within all that you do, helping people to create this, what is the most fulfilling part of it all?
For me, the most fulfilling part of it all is I'm a storyteller and I love to hear stories and I love to learn as well. So I get to suck up all the knowledge from my clients and I get to learn all their goodness and I get to hear all their stories. And then I get to share those stories with their audience.
Mhm.
And so the most fulfilling part of it for me is I get all of that extra knowledge and I get to hear all those stories and then share them as well. And then my clients come back to me and they're like, I have been writing a newsletter. I have had a newsletter for this many years and I've never had anyone reply back to me. And now all of a sudden people are replying back to me. I'm asking questions in my newsletter and my newsletter subscribers are engaging with me. Like, it's newsletters for them are no longer a one-way street. Now it's a two-way street and there's a conversation happening between them and their subscribers. And that for me is really exciting.
And that's beautiful to hear about the conversations that can come from newsletters, because sometimes, you know, every single day, multiple times a day, ding, 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 we get another email. And, it's beautiful to see that it can be a two-way street when we're so used
Mhm.
to receiving a mass amount of emails in a day. So with that being said, there's so many different ways to connect in so many different mediums, with blogs, with podcasts, with newsletters, with social media platforms, all of them. Why do you think that having a newsletter is the right outlet and vehicle to make these family connections with people?
Well, it all sort of works together. If you think of it like sort of it's all relationship marketing. So if you think about, social media is kind of, the introduction to sort of like the first date. It's kind of the introduction, right? And then but it's really tough to sort of get to know you, because like only 6% of your audience really sees your posts, right? So it's hard to develop that.
Mhm,
And then you move into the newsletter, right, which is where you really develop that relationship.
mhm,
So it's and that's that long-term relationship, right? So it all sort of works together. But that's where your newsletter, that's the reason why the newsletter is so important. That's where it really shines for you. And the other thing is social media is kind of, screaming into the void, right? You don't know who's seeing it. It's hard to control. Someone else owns it, so you can get shut down at any point, right? Blocked. It could disappear altogether, right? It's kind of rented space. Um, you own your newsletter list, right? With podcasts are fantastic to go hand in hand with your newsletter because you can use the same content from your podcast as you do with your newsletter. So they're really good. It's a really good partnership.
mhm,
Same with blogs. The biggest difference between podcasts and blogs and your newsletter is that it's really tough for to have that communication,
mm,
because with podcasts it's really tough for your audience to respond to that, right? And same with blogs, right? You can have the comments open, and so you have a little bit of ability to have that connection and have that interaction. But with podcasts, it's very, very difficult, right? But with your newsletter, they can just hit reply and the conversation has started. So that's why newsletters are so important for building those connections.
You're opening my mind to a whole new perspective about my email list. So I'm absolutely loving this and totally seeing the value, how it's more of a conversation versus like speaking out. And when you're thinking about numbers, right? Like the average open rate for an email is what, 30%, something like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
versus the 6% that you're saying, being the stat of visibility of posts. So that's a huge difference. So
it
that's so
is.
powerful. So powerful. And you keep using this term, relationship marketing. Can you tell me more about what that means?
Okay, so the difference between regular marketing and relationship marketing is regular marketing is, for instance, you go and buy a t-shirt at the mall,
Mhm.
or you buy something or you sign up for something, and then your inbox is just flooded with, oh, you bought this, you might like this too, right? Or you signed up for this free thing, well, how about you buy this, that, and the other thing, and it's just sell, 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 sell at you, right?
Yep.
So that's sort of regular email marketing. Relationship marketing is based on creating relationships and delivering value and telling stories. So instead of coming in with, hey, buy this, it's delivering value. Okay, so you signed up for this freebie, which clearly means that you're interested in what I do, right? And the value I have to offer. So now I'm going to come into your inbox and I'm going to talk to you about what I do and how I can help you by solving all these problems. So, for instance, when you sign up for my newsletter, I'm going to give you hints on how to create a great lead magnet or freebie. I'm going to give you hints on how to create great subject lines. I'm going to give you hints on how to write a good story in your newsletter. And I'm going to tell you all these things. I'm going to tell you stories about. I'm a huge nerd, so a lot of my stuff comes across as nerdy. I'm going to tell you about movies I've seen, and I'm going to tell you ridiculous stories about my kids and about my neurospicy husband. But all of these are going to wrap together um, to talk about how I can help you as well.
I love it.
So instead of me saying, just coming directly with the hard sell, buy this, you're going to be entertained, you're going to hear a story, and you're going to learn something. You're going to get some value out of my
Alert
newsletter.
from updates available.
Whoops. You're going to get some value and entertainment out of my newsletter while also hearing how I can help you. So it's a much softer sell.
Mhm.
It feels more organic, and it doesn't feel icky. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah,
So
totally.
we're building a relationship. I'm not just coming at you going, "Hey, buy my stuff." I'm
Mhm.
going, "Hey, here's some interesting things. Here's some fun stuff. Oh, and by the way, if this seems too heavy, if this seems like it's too time consuming, I can do it for you. Or if you want more support, book a call with me and let's see how we could work together."
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great approach. And I think that, when people focus on creating a relationship with you, you're more inclined to buy with them because there's that trust, there's that bond that is there versus, just quickly buying things here and there and feeling
Mhm.
like you're being sold to rather than it being the natural next step.
Yeah.
So if everyone's listening and they're like, you know what? Like, I don't have a newsletter. Where should they start? What would be like three simple baby steps that they can take to get the momentum going and to have a successful newsletter that will allow them to build, this new family, this new community of people that are going to want to work with them and be a part of their missions?
Absolutely. So the three basic steps is first to choose a platform. And my recommendations for that are MailerLite or ConvertKit, depending on the needs of your business. And I am not an affiliate of either of those. Those are just the two that I like.
Mhm.
The next step is to create a lead magnet or freebie or opt in, whatever you want to call it. And you want it to be something that delivers valuable information, something that is easily digestible. And if it takes you more than 3 hours, it's too complicated. The top two performing lead magnets are quizzes, because everybody loves a quiz, and simple downloadable PDF.
Mhm.
If it takes more than 3 hours, like I said, it's too complicated.
Mhm.
And then the third thing you want to do is set up a nurture sequence, because once they've signed up for your lead magnet, you want to have a way to introduce yourself, deliver the lead magnet, and start nurturing them into that relationship, right? You wouldn't invite someone over to your house and then not answer the door when they knocked. So you want to have a way to introduce them into your world.
Yes.
So those are the three important steps to getting started. And then from there, you want to send out consistent newsletters once a week, ideally, or every other week. And because, just like everything else in business, consistency is key.
Yes, that's powerful. And for a lead magnet, the sky's the limit. And I know when I started mine, it was like, what should I make my lead magnet about? So if someone is like, okay, lead magnet, and they're understanding what you're saying, and now they're trying to figure out what should my lead magnet be, where would you guide someone to help them uncover what the topic may be or what the quiz will be about?
Absolutely. So the first thing I ask all of my clients is, what is the number one question your people are asking you?
Mm,
So once you figure that out, right, or the top two questions, okay, then you sort of break it down to how can you solve like the smallest part of that question. So for me, it's usually, what do I use as a lead magnet?
mm,
Right? How do I create a lead magnet? So that's what I'm saying to you is take the number one or two questions, right? And sort of break that down and um, break it down into something solvable. Now, you don't want to create like a 28-page how to.
mhm.
You want to keep it short and sweet. So, a problem that you can solve for them in 3 pages or less,
Mm.
right? And it's really great if you can relate it back to whatever your offer is. So if you have a coaching program, if you can take one of the pieces of your coaching program and tease it in that lead magnet, right? And then basically, if you want more of this, here's my whole coaching program you can get,
Wonderful.
right? Or if you're an accountant, here's 5 ways to save money on your business, right? The 5 ways to or 3 ways to, those are great lead magnets because they give people a little taste, right? And then it moves them into your larger offer.
Yes. No, I love that. You broke that down very simply. And I love how you're saying not to solve the whole program, like the whole problem, but focus on that little piece and connect it to your program, your offering, and what you do,
Yeah,
which is great. So I know that you have a gift for the audience. You want to talk a
I
little bit
do.
about what that gift is and where they can find it?
Yeah, so often I get asked, or I get told I hate creating content, right? Like content creation is a big, overwhelming um, problem for most business owners,
Mhm.
right? We live in a world where we're expected to create so much content. And a lot of my clients are like, okay, so I need to have a newsletter and you want me to write it once a week, but like, what do I talk about every single week? Like, I can't talk about something different every single week. And you want me to tell stories every single week? Like, that's just ridiculous. So, I came up with a process on how to create new content every single week. And like for myself, because I'm a content creator, and so I have to create content every week. So what I've done is I've just taken my process and put it together as a free gift. And it basically breaks it down to three different topics. It's your industry topic, it's your personal topic, and then it's your non-industry, non-personal topic. So for example, for myself, my industry topic is obviously newsletters. My personal topics that I like talking about is I like talking about nerdy things. I like talking about my husband, my kids, and my cats. And then my non-industry thing is I love talking about business and mindset, because I believe that everything to do with business starts with mindset. Because if
Mhm.
your mind's not right, then nothing else is going to work for you.
That's right.
So these are the things I talk about in my newsletter. And then I just wrote down absolutely everything that I could talk about in all of these things. And then I break them down into minute detail. And then I just go ahead and I pick a topic, and that's what I write about. And then I pick another topic, and then that's what I write about. And there's also a little how to on how to use AI to help you come up with even more topics.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm
Because
gonna go-
AI,
Yeah, I'm sure.
yeah.
So much to learn about that. And I'm going to put the link in the show notes and the description of this video for you to check it out and get your gift that there is so graciously gifted to all of you. And do you want to talk a little bit about what your offerings are and where they can find it? Because I know you were saying there's kind of two different things. You can do it yourself or you can support them on the journey. So do you want to just briefly explain the difference?
Oh, for sure. So, if you're a do-it-yourselfer
Mhm.
and you like to write, or you're in a position where you're like, okay, I would really like to give this a shot. I have like a sort of a mini coaching where we get together, and I will teach you literally everything there is to know, from the beginning of choosing your platform. I'll give you recommendations based on your business needs, and we'll go through absolutely everything you need to know to get you on the road to newsletter success. Plus, you have me on email for 2 weeks while you're getting everything set up. There's guides, everything. I set you completely up for newsletter success. I teach you how to do everything.
Mhm.
Or if you're in a position where you're like, okay, this is amazing, but I just don't have time and this is too overwhelming, just do it for me, then I'm more than happy just to take it off your plate and we can work together. And I will write your weekly newsletters for you. Or if you haven't started your email list yet, I can get everything set up your platform, set up your lead magnet, your nurture sequence, do all that for you as well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. And if they want to take advantage of this and take a part of it and have you in their pocket with to supporting them on their journey of having a successful newsletter, where's the best place that they can connect with you?
absolutely. So I'm on Facebook and I'm at the Nerdy Quill on Facebook. My website is thenerdyquill.ca because I'm in Canada. Or they can email me, Sarah at Sarah at thenerdyquill.ca.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
We're going to leave all those links there. Do you have any final words when it comes to creating a successful newsletter? Like, what's like the number one thing that you would tell someone to help them create a successful newsletter?
Don't overthink it.
Mm,
That's my number one thing. Don't overthink it. Picture someone who needs your offer or needs your value, or even just picture a really good friend and write a letter to them.
mm,
So don't overthink it, and just make it casual.
awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. So important because we can be the biggest enemies when it comes to our own success, getting in our head
For
about it. I
sure.
love that you close it off that way. Thank you, Sarah, for coming on. It's been so awesome. I know that I've learned a lot and you've opened my mind even further to focus more on my newsletter. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I'll upload a new video on Thursday. See you in the next one. Bye.